In the program, patients keep journals, and Nick shares an entry with us. How the hell did I get here? It doesn't seem that long ago that I was on the goddamn water polo team. I was an editor of the school newspaper, acting in the spring play, obsessing about which girls I liked, talking Marx and Dostoevsky with my classmates. The kids in my class are in college. This isn't so much sad as baffling. At the time, it all seemed so positive and harmless. It is Nick's third weekend at the hospital, and I am here for another family visit. After the group session in the morning, Nick, on a day pass, will visit the inn where we are staying. Nick is open and emotional, even expressing his gratitude for the chance to go through this program. He seems sincere. Next, he broaches a new subject. He wants to know if college is still an option. He knows that he has made enormous mistakes, but he will do anything if he can still go to Hampshire. He is excited about the school because he understands his drug problem. He promises to attend AA meetings regularly and to work with a sponsor. He has been told that many colleges have substance-free dormitories, and he will request one. He understands that relapse will mean that I will follow through on my threat and withdraw my support, and he will be out of college and on his own. In the car, as we drive to the end to meet Karen, Jasper, and Daisy, Nick tells me that what made him change his mind. Others in his group therapy sessions heard that his parents were willing to send him to college, and they ganged up on him. The general consensus was summed up by a man whose drinking and drug addiction had estranged him from his parents and siblings. "Are you out of your fucking mind?" he howled at Nick. "You have parents? They love you? They are still willing to send you to college? Go to college. Don't be a fucking idiot. I would do anything for a chance to go to college." I think over Nick's request. "Karen and I will talk about it," I say. "I'll talk to your mom. We'll have to make our agreement clear. I think it might work if you really want it and think you can pull it off." I still fantasize that everything can be fine. Nick will stay sober. He understands his problem. Thank God he hasn't done more damage to his life, to his body and brain, to his options for the future. He can still go to college, get a degree, a good job, have a loving relationship. Everything will be all right. I drive to the inn, a run-down resort with grapevines, a cracked swimming pool, cracked tennis courts, and old horses wandering through the property. Nick is nervous when I drive through the gate. This will be his first visit with Jasper and Daisy since he entered Olhoff nearly 3 months ago. Nick is elated at seeing Jasper and Daisy, and in spite of their initial reluctance, the last time they saw Nick, he was coming down from his high and depressed, angry at leaving for Olhoff. They are happy to see him. He plays with them in the icy cold water, and they bat tennis balls back and forth. I sit at a picnic bench under a grape arbor and watch as Karen joins them and the foursome play croquet. As they knock the balls around, Nick asks the kids about school and their friends, and he tells stories about a cat that lives on the hospital grounds. When it's time for me to take Nick back to the hospital, Jasper and Daisy seem perplexed. We continually do our best to explain what is going on with Nick, but in their eyes, he seems fine. They don't know why he can't come home with us. On our way back to St. Helena, Nick tells me about 2 other events of the week. The first is disheartening. Stephen left the program, simply and unceremoniously left one mid-afternoon, walking down the long road that leads from the hospital to Calistoga. Later, the patients learned that he immediately relapsed at a bar. Nick was saddened, but not completely surprised. On the surface, he seemed committed to staying sober, he says. He knew that he risked losing his wife and that gorgeous baby, but he never took it that seriously. He blamed his wife for their problems, blamed his parents, blamed everyone but himself. He never got it. His other news is harder to believe. Whenever someone completes the 28-day program, a goodbye ceremony is held among the patients. The graduate asks another patient to stand up and speak for him or her, sending the graduate out into the world. These ceremonies are designed to embolden the graduate and inspire newcomers. The morning Kevin, the GI, was to graduate, he had approached Nick. "You are a brave fucker," he said. "I have to give you that." Then, shocking Nick, he asked him to stand up for him at his departing ceremony. "I respect you," the man said. "I've been watching you and know that all of us, you're the one who is going to make it. You're young enough not to have fucked up your life too bad. You have a loving family, and you are so damn smart. I want to make it more than anything I have ever done. I'm going to prove that you're wrong. I'm going to make it." Nick agreed, so I stood up for him, he says. I said that I hope and pray that he makes it, that he works this program. I said, "I hope so for you and for your wife and children." Later, I watched them leave, he and his wife. They both gave me hugs. They were holding hands when they walked away. I am nervous a week later when, following Nick's own graduation, I pick him up. The car windows are down, the air is warm, Nick speaks brightly about the future. His optimism comes through not only in his lucidity, but in the way he holds his body, confident and strong, and in his eyes, which are once again filled with light, he says that he is committed to staying away from drugs. I share his hopefulness, but I know that sobriety is far easier in the safe, structured environment of a rehab program, and so mine is a tentative hope. I need to believe that everything is going to be all right, and at the same time, I am unable to accept that it will be. Things are easier at home, though there is occasional tension. I worry when Nick leaves the house for AA meetings. I worry when he seems distracted or down. I worry when, in August, it is time for him to head off to college, this time 3,000 miles away. Hampshire College is on a former apple orchard that retains the feelings of a farm. The college offers an impressive, stimulating liberal arts program and hundreds of majors and courses. If those aren't enough, Hampshire is part of a 5-college consortium, which includes the University of Massachusetts, Amherst College, Smith, and Mount Holyoke. Nick can pick and choose from the courses offered at the other campuses. A shuttle bus connects them. Karen and I fly east with Nick to help him settle in and get ready for freshman orientation. We eat at the Indian restaurant Nick and I discovered when we took the college tour more than a year ago. "Turn right at the light," Nick yells. "Right, right, right!" In the morning, we drive to campus. It is warm and sunny. Families are busy dropping their children off at their respective dormitories in vans, station wagons, and in one case, a limousine loaded with suitcases, trunks, a stereo system, a drum set, and several computers. Nick's room in the sober living dormitory is small but comfortable. After dropping off his suitcases, we follow posted signs to the center of campus for the welcoming barbecue. Karen and I survey the incoming freshmen for potential drug dealers. At the end of the meal, various deans speak to the assembled families. Afterward, I seek out the dean of students and ask her about drugs on campus, explaining that my son has recently been through 2 rounds of rehab. She admits that marijuana is rampant, but correctly notes the obvious. Drugs pervade every college campus in America and every city, so a young adult must learn to live among them. She directs me to the head of the college's health services, who writes down her name and telephone number and says that she will help Nick in any way she can. She'll guide him to 12-step meetings and introduce him to other students in recovery. He's not the only one, she says. There's a lot of support for people who want it.